Welcome back to what is surely another episode of YouTube dedicated to GamesMaster Series 4, specifically the latter half, so if you've not seen the other half yet, well, you don't have to. Using the power of technology, I've condensed the entirety of the first half of GamesMaster Series 4 into an audio-visual pill that will implant all of that knowledge in mere seconds. Just sit back, prop your eyes open, remove all of the thoughts from your mind, and here we go. 3, 2, 1. Right, now you're all caught up, and much like any other series of GamesMaster, this one starts with an episode. And that episode is coming up in now. Welcome back to the mid-90s.
Welcome to GamesMaster. I used to think all light entertainment shows were the same, but then again, I used to like records before I discovered CDs.
Our first challenge in the pithy parlour of playtime is Mickey Mania on the Mega Drive, a fine enough game, but one that seems a tad young for our new adolescent audience, and the challenges don't seem to be aging much either.
Now, Tyra, you are super cool, and I'll tell you why. Because you told us that you don't like green vegetables, which I think is very smart. What's your top 5 all-time worst green vegetables now?
Peas.
Okay then, let's take a look at Stargate.
The latest high-tech movie eating box office pie in the States is Stargate. Using the old let's film in the desert and pretend it's an alien world trick, Stargate tells a story of army bloke and Egyptologist bloke who stumble through a portal into another dimension.
Stay right here and shoot anything that comes down that ramp.
Featuring the bloke who was a bird who was a bloke in the crying game.
And put your bets on the bird counter now. I think we're maybe outdoing the cocks on this one. In other news, the 32X is still threatening to come out with games no one wants, and Virtua Fighter 2 is exciting, but Dom keeps calling it Virtua Fighters.
Virtua Fighters 2. With new characters, more polygons and loads of extra moves, Virtua Fighters 2 already makes its predecessor look like, Virtua Fighters 1.
How embarrassing. That's enough to make Alex the Kid blush. Today's commentary man is Boring Steve, who seems to be there every other week now, presumably one of Dom's groupies. But regardless, I don't think there's much anyone can do to spice up watching kids playing Mickey Mania.
And of course, Mickey can now qualify to stand in front of shop queues all over the world.
Absolutely. Probably queue for free vegetables too.
Now, Steve, any tips? Have you got any tips for our two contestants here?
Yeah, you have to take it a bit easy. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to play. It depends. I should imagine Mickey's on his last legs. That rocket was a restart point, but unfortunately that won't come into play because you only get one attempt.
Okay, 25 seconds gone.
She's got to land on the window ledge. She's missing the window ledge.
Oh no,
she's not slung over to the left of it.
As a matter of fact, she has absolutely no talent at all.
You've got to beat 13. Okay, uploader goes once again. The number of pellets on the top right corner.
She never wanted to be Lincoln Christie. Now's the time to run like him. She got the start. That was a really, really good start. But she must avoid the parrots and make sure she gets on the ledges.
She hasn't been right yet.
Stand a chance.
15 seconds gone, a quarter way through the time. She's up on the took one hit there.
Took a hit. She's got to spring out.
Now she might have the same problem as Tyra did. Is she going to get to this ledge or is she going to waste time?
No, she went straight through it.
It's a very transparent ledge. That's a bit bad woodwork there, I reckon. Halfway through the time, she's level on
She's
score.
on the ledge.
One more pedal, that's it.
That was quite possibly the worst challenge I've seen so far. This is not a good reintroduction to Series 4.
Perhaps if you'd eaten your greens, you might have gone that a little bit better.
Peas.
But you're still not going to have any peas.
Peas.
Okay, I admire your principles, I have to say. Nora, that was very, very close.
Yeah, when it came to when you spring up.
Yeah.
Peas.
You have won the GamesMaster Golden Joystick.
She doesn't deserve a goddamn thing. Let's go and watch some goddamn reviews. It's Lethal Enforcers 2.
For all budding cowboys out there, you can now get your hands on Lethal Enforcers 2. Basically, you can take part in armed robberies, bank robberies, and even robberies.
Very nice old man.
It's a great game. Somehow this kind of gameplay works really well, although it's not a long-lasting one. Once you've shot all the people you can shoot, then you're never going to come back to it.
You will never play it again. 75%. Magic Carpet's next, and if this doesn't get 1,000,000%, then everyone is dead to me.
If I was to say that Magic Carpet was Doom in the air, I'd actually be lying, but it's somewhere near the truth. You're floating around in a 3D environment, you've got to collect mana so you can build up a huge castle, and you get some wonderful spells at your disposal. The most notable of which is, of course, the earthquake, which tears its way through the landscape, and wonderful 3D graphics.
shoot lots of things.
Well, I suppose 90% will do, so long as I close my eyes and don't look at any other games that got 90%. Final game this week is Z-Wolf, that game that's just Virus, but with a helicopter in that.
It's a sort of helicopter shoot 'em up.
This isn't your average everyday shoot 'em up.
It's a sort of helicopter shoot 'em up.
85% probably about right. I don't know and I don't care. All I do know is that it's probably more than 10% better than Lethal Enforcers 2. It's Celebrity Challenge time, and the game is whatever the flying fuck VidGrid is. It's essentially a block-moving puzzle, but using video from what I can see, and it's the worst idea anyone has ever had. Anyway, here's, Let Loose?
Let loose!
Who the fuck are Let Loose? Oh yeah, Let Loose. I genuinely thought this song was by Savage Garden.
I'll be your dream, I'll be your wish. Intuition tells me what I'm missing when I look at you.
Either way, I would rather listen to a dog being thrown over a barrel of dying parrots than listen to either of them, so moving on.
I want to be a teen pop sensation. Right. So tell me how you do it. Lee, start me off step one.
Tell you what you do, show a little body, comb your hair, brush your teeth, that sort of thing, yeah?
Okay.
Don't write any songs, that kind of thing.
All right, step two.
Oh, cheers. I was going to say that. I think you should write songs, but thank you very much. Everyone?
I think you should go to church on Thursdays.
I think you should.
That's what you should do. Not just Sundays, but Thursdays.
You should appear on GamesMaster, and you know when you've been on GamesMaster, you've made it.
Well, I have a problem in that I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play an instrument, and I'm not terribly bright, so I guess it's East 17 then.
I can't believe he would stab E17 in the back like this, after they came onto his nice, friendly show in Series 2 and gormlessly tried to communicate with him in a human language and everything. Terrible form, Dominic. You should never make fun of someone who accidentally ran themselves over and nearly died because they ate too many baked potatoes. Anyway, Brad's back.
I reckon that we could go with bingo method. Do it going for the corners. Go for the old bingo method. Get the corners in there and then bingo method.
I've no idea what he's saying, but he really does improve the general atmosphere of the show with his cheeky noise. Over to the challenge then, we have a contender for the least entertaining thing to watch and listen to. Not only are we forced to endure November Rain by Guns N' Roses, which absolutely no one on earth needs to ever hear again, the song is constantly competing for attention with Dom and Brad's inane waffle.
They've got to go get the corners in done. Okay, that's right, as you said, start for the corners like the bingo, there was a bearded flags up with like conducting there and...
Sorry, what?
Skip to the end, they didn't do it.
Bad luck, Richie, bad luck, Rob. Okay, first of all now, Lee, what didn't go terribly well at the start? Talk us through it. What was happening?
Well, I mean, to be honest, you know, we are basically rubbish. I think that probably sums it up.
I never expected to actually quite like Let Loose by the end of all of this, but these guys don't take themselves seriously in the slightest, and you just have to love that. It's a shame we have to let loose, but so be it, because it's time for this week's feature, and it's all about some shit online bollocks.
A typical 2 up, 2 down in small town America, home to an equally cheesy American family, the Lincolns, mum, dad and son Jeffrey. Hello mum.
Hi, honey.
But Jeffrey isn't that ordinary. For 40 grand he'll throw a football match. He's also a fully paid up citizen of the Imagination Network.
Jeffrey, dinner's ready.
INN, as it's known, is a virtual town where people from all across America can meet up on their PC screens and take part in over 80 different activities.
Jeffrey?
You can put on bad clothes and get golfed up, play some boring cards, enter a medieval fantasy adventure, or just hang around and talk pants.
Dinner's ready, honey.
I've made about probably 100 friends on INN. All of them come from the United States, some from California, all the way down to New York.
And they all think you're groovy.
Jeffrey, dinner's ready.
Not content with meeting virtually, members regularly meet up at INN conventions. If you think they should be locked up by the fashion police, that's because they're dressed as their network personas, or toons. This is how Jeffrey appears to other people on the network.
Probably lucky he didn't choose to represent himself as the black guy.
Jeffrey? Dinner's ready, honey.
You know,
It's my local hangout.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like a bar in
I
here,
spend more
isn't it?
time sometimes on INN than I do going out socially.
Oh, I know I do.
And to think Americans have nuclear weapons. Like any other town, the INN is expanding daily with more services coming online.
Jeff, what are you doing in there?
I do long for the days when there were only about 600 people on the internet and we all used MIRC and spent 9 hours downloading a low-quality MP3 of Self-Esteem by The Offspring only to find out it was Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. Simpler times. Better times. But only better because we're no longer actually suffering through them. Give it 10 years and you'll be longing for today. Something you certainly won't be longing for, however, is Creature Shock, which is our final challenge. This is, by far and away, the shittest set of games that GamesMaster's thrown together in a single episode. I apologise on their behalf for what you've had to sit through.
Mark, you'd have a bit of an unpleasant experience a couple of birthdays ago, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a couple of bouncers that I used to work with at a certain place. They decided it'd be very funny to strip me naked.
That's a crime.
Alright, listen, best of luck, Mark, if you'd like to take your place on the Games Playing Rock, and we'll go up to the commentary box.
Do you have any humorous birthday anecdotes?
Yeah, I've got another similar one actually. A couple of years ago, my 21st, I was celebrating that, what I thought was a quiet drink with a couple of friends. Ended up with me stripped to me boxer shorts, handcuffed to a lamppost. Left me there for an hour and a half in the freezing cold.
He could have died. Good gag. Let's watch some footage of my colonoscopy.
Okay, of course, Mark, he's just gone through a little cave just now. He's just about to get one of the monsters. At the bottom of the screen, you can see a little man, bottom right-hand corner with a figure. That's his energy. Two spots above that, you've got a wibbly-wobbly thing at 100%. That's going to be the energy of the monster he's facing. Here is the first one. It's a kind of grey mutant spider-like thing, Joss.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of one of those funny petrified fish. The trick he's got to do, you see the green area?
Yeah, but that thing
the green area on the belly of the monster.
This is so incredibly fucking boring to watch. What on earth were they thinking? And to see this guy balancing a mouse mat on his knee to try and play it is quite possibly one of the most depressing scenes that's ever been on TV.
Okay.
Got to locate the monster first in the pool. Here he is.
So here comes this second monster. It's in the pool, and he's a very attractive looking one. This one, Josh, isn't he?
There's some sort of octopus arrangement here. What he's got to do now is shoot him in the eyes, just the black ends of his eyes.
On the sides there.
That's where we score the points.
Okay, the monster's down to 12, actually.
He's doing very, very well.
Mark's down to 50. See that monster, Josh? That's your girlfriend, that is.
Thank you very much, Dominic.
He's dead.
Christ alive, thank God that's over. We were getting dangerously close to a banter dip there. Speaking of which, let's do a quick check on Dom's Banter Barometer.
I see pretty straightforward. But yeah, Mark, any bits you had trouble by at all? Any bits you had trouble by at all? Any bits you had any bits you had trouble by at all? Any bits you had any bits you had trouble by at all? Trouble by at all?
Well, that first one he kept covering up a bit, but you know, soon got him.
And then the bat flew in your face?
Oh yeah.
That was a bit tricky. What was going through your mind when that bat smacked you?
Well, it reminded me of your old hairstyle.
Ouch. You mean you don't like my Gary Barlow one? No.
Well...
This means I can go off and form a team band and all the others will be better looking at me, but I'll be the only one who can sing, play an instrument or write songs.
Okay, I'll give him a nudge up there. He's behaved quite well this episode and he's actually been the only antidote to the horrific games on offer. He is hoping they have something better to show us in episode 11. Straight into the meaty stuff, it's a fucking golfing game. I can feel my energy levels siphoning themselves off into a bunker as we speak. Let's see what plaid-wearing ball bag turns up for this one.
Adil, many people worry about long-term unemployment and the problems of the third world. For you, it's hair. Tell us what your worries are.
Well, it just grows in all different ways and just annoys me.
So you like to keep it short and tidy?
Yeah, that's right.
That's good, because a lot of kids nowadays favour the Ricky from EastEnders look, you know, where it hangs down, and I think lankness is one of the big problems that we're going to face as we approach the year 2000, would you agree?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Do you play golf yourself, Adil?
No, not really.
No? So you'll be looking forward to this one?
Okay, I think one of the big problems with Dom's banter in this series is that he's talking to the kids as though they're going to provide anything but an awkward smile and a murmur. He's looking for some sort of back and forth, and 90% of the time they just look like they want to crawl under a rock and die. We're 11 episodes in, so you'd have expected him to realise this and change his methods, but no. If there's one thing you can say about Dom, it's that he has a method and he's going to, if not get the most out of it, use it. Let's check the feature reel.
Last week we unveiled the Ridge Racer on the PlayStation. This is an early version of Namco's latest arcade racer, Ace Driver.
I mean, that does look fancy. That looks fancy even now. Granted, I spend 90% of my time playing indie games that look like they could have come out on the SNES, but look at that! It's all polygons and everything. It's the fucking future.
I'm so glad you are my friend.
Over the years we've had some pretty sad games on GamesMaster, but surely none sadder than Terry.
Terry is one fit bird with a cracking voice box. I've always wanted to wank off to the sound of Stephen Hawking's voice, but I didn't want anyone to question my sexuality, so this is perfect.
I'm so glad you are my friend. I noticed you are happy. Almost every time I talk to you, I noticed you are happy. Almost every time I talk to you.
Well, you're actually using the TV Golf Club in this one. What tips can you give our challenger with that in mind?
Basically, there is only one tip. Hit it as hard as you possibly can.
2 minutes begins now. And sure enough, he does. He swiped it again. That's the same. It's about half the power, and he sliced it once more. Is it going to go in the bunker? No, he's going to stay on. He's still on the fairway there. 109 yards, not terribly good either. Hutch, what would you recommend him doing?
Well, I think he needs a caddy.
Like Fanny. Nick Faldo's caddy.
Did he just say Fanny?
Fanny.
He said Fanny.
Fanny.
Dom said Fanny.
Fanny.
Oh boy, oh boy. I would love to tell you that Dom continues to talk about Fanny for the rest of the golf segment, but he doesn't. Instead, we just get to slowly die inside. So skipping ahead, let's check the summary.
Disaster!
Yes, a broadcasting disaster, I agree.
Bad luck, Adel. Adel, at the end of that, you were still 26 foot away from the hole. What went wrong for you?
Well, it's just... It's a hard game, it's hard to swing at, and didn't know where to put the beam, really. Yeah.
Contender for the most boring contestant? I mean, he's got to be up there. Zero banter. Absolute crematorium of conversation with this fella. He's certainly no Terry. Let's check out Star Wars on the 32X.
Star Wars game is by the same team who put together the Virtua stuff for Sega, like Virtua Fighters and Virtua Racer.
Stop calling it Virtua Fighters!
There are 4 levels in the game. The first one starts you out in deep space, just shooting down a matter of 15 ties. The second level, you're flying over the Death Star. In the third level, you're flying through a ship. You've got to destroy its engine when you get to the end of the level. I didn't get onto the 5th level, so I don't know what's there. Sorry.
I think I like this guy's face more and more as the series goes on. In a show full of dour, miserable reviews who keep pluralizing the names of games, this guy has so many facial expressions, he could make an art student blush with the amount of homework on offer.
It's also very easy, even when you play it on Mega 32X mode, which is supposedly the hardest setting. You should finish it in a day or so, and it's a little disappointing for that. It is a good demonstration of the graphic power of the 32X, but not the game to buy it for.
Not very good. 85%. Wonders never cease. And just to piss me off even more.
Meanwhile, in Japan, Virtua Fighters has been bundled with the just-released Saturn. We thought we'd review it now for a laugh.
It's been a long time since I've been truly excited by a video game this much. Virtua Fighters sent large dollops of adrenaline charging through my body. It's an excellent conversion. In fact, I prefer it to the arcade game, which I always found slightly sluggish to respond. Really, you must at least get to see this. And as soon as you do see it, you're going to want a Saturn and Virtua Fighter.
No plural!
Each character's got their own set of special moves that vary wildly. Some pick each other up by the knees and swing them around and throw them out of the ring, while others jump up into the air and come crashing down on your chest. If the rest of the Saturn games continue to be this good and this good looking, I'm sure the Saturn will do very well.
As a beat-em-up, it's better than all the competition that's gone before. It's better than Street Fighter, it's better than Mortal Kombat, it's better than Primal Rage, it's fantastic. Lots of combos, lots of secret moves, and the most amazing graphics ever seen on a home system. It really is the bee's knees, and certainly worth buying a Saturn for. It's as simple as that.
Better than Street Fighters, better than Mortal Kombat. It's a 96%er, which means it's the second best game reviewed, and are you fucking kidding me with this?
Today's celebrity is slowly cruising up the river Styx, with water and other liquids gently lapping at his side. Let's find out what his challenge is.
I do like a good shoot 'em up.
My next challenge on the CDI game Chaos Control should provide just that.
It's not going to do that though, is it, Patrick? What on God's polygonal earth is this shite?
CJ Lewis!
And who the flying shit is CJ Lewis? Oh, CJ Lewis! You know what? I take it back. I take back my cynicism. CJ Lewis was the best pop ragga filler you'd find during that brief period in 1994, where everyone listened to reggae music for 6 months and then never listened to it ever again.
No.
And you know what the best thing is? On this random ass channel that's hosting the music video for Sweets for My Sweets, the backing singer is right there thanking everyone for their lovely comments. Can we all get back into reggae for 6 months this year? I want it to feel like 1994 again. Let's get CJ Lewis back in the charts, then maybe a bit of Inner Circle. And then just for the Pato banter,
I must admit I was a clown to be messing around.
it's got to be done. Reggae in the UK for 2025. Let's do it for CJ Lewis and this one backing singer. Actually, no, let's wait and see if he completes this challenge with a degree of dignity or not.
Playing CJ Lewis tonight, we have Mark Denton.
Boo! Boo, Mark Denton. You're not a beloved mid-90s reggae star. You're nothing to me. In the commentary box, stifle your yawns, it's Steve again.
Helping me prove that two grown men can fit into the same pulpit is Steve Merritt from Mean Machines. Steve, we've got CJ here. What is your favourite sweet for your sweetie?
Well, that's an interesting topic, Dominic, but I'm a bit of a marathon man, I reckon.
Your time starts now. Okay, off goes Matt. It's a bit misty here, Steve.
Yeah, but you'll notice that the scores continually going up. You score no matter what you hit.
Okay, this may be a record for how quickly I've gotten bored of looking at a game. Just look at this shit. Bring back Creature Shock. At least that game took place inside a colon. This game looks like it takes place in a city made out of the contents of a colon. Why is everything coloured like poo? Fuck it, let's just skip to CJ.
Okay, Steve, how can CJ beat that score of 2095?
Shoot something.
Okay. Right, CJ, if you're ready, your 45 seconds begins now.
Well, we're back in the fog.
CJ. It looks a bit like Brecon.
Yeah.
Like this place, that's always foggy. Okay, up he goes. The score's mounting up already. He's got one.
It's a good start. It's a very good start. Unfortunately, that seems to be it for today. Number 2.
And he's beaten it.
He's beaten him already. Even if he doesn't shoot anything, he's beaten him.
3,115 points, so by the narrow margin of nearly 1,000 points, CJ Lewis is the winner!
Reggae Summer 2025, boys. It's on. Grab your cans of Lil and let's fucking go.
Mark, oh dear. You know you get points as long as you stay alive in that. Yeah? And although you got a score of 2095, you didn't actually hit one thing. What went wrong?
Guaranteed.
I was looking at your face, you were enjoying that a bit much actually.
Straight into the feature, it's Japan time.
Next week, the much awaited Sony PlayStation is finally released in Japan. The promotional tape that's doing the rounds in advance shows a plethora of games in development for this new console. Because this is Japan, there's plenty of simulations of traditional Japanese games like Mahjong and Pachinko. Well, they seem to like them. There are predictable conversions of games from other systems like Parodius. And because this is a brand new machine, there are plenty of highly original beat-em-ups. And of course, RPGs, which Japanese blokes and birds go mental over. Metal Jacket involves wandering around a city dispatching of robots in time-honoured fashion. And yet more RPG games, this time in 3D.
I mean, this would have all looked amazing at the time, but fucking hell, we've come a long way, haven't we? Apart from Ridge Racer, nothing has looked better than Ridge Racer. Let's bounce into the final challenge with, for some reason, Boogerman, a generic pile of shite that only ever got airtime because the lead character picks his nose and farts. If they were going to make a video game about my day-to-day life, they could have at least paid me royalties.
You've got a little part-time job to help pay for your games playing habit. What is it?
Tomato picking.
And what sort of skills make a good tomato picker?
Stamina, really, to put up with the boss.
Oh, is it? Is he not terribly good, no?
No.
What's his name?
Robinson.
Mr. Robinson?
Yeah.
Mr. Robinson? Be a bit nice to Andrew. We know where you live, and those are lovely kids you've got.
That's a crime.
All right, thanks for that, Andrew. We've got that sorted out. Ross, you've got a hilarious bike getting nicked anecdote, don't you?
Yeah, I was uptown and I had my bike nicked, so I had to chase after these kids who nicked my bike.
and I had to get a lift from some stranger I didn't know, and take him to the police station. On the way, the kid jumped out of the car, and I had to chase him and get him back again. And he got to the police station, got 20 quid compensation, which wasn't bad.
You got 20 quid?
Yeah.
Okay, that dead-eyed look to camera was perfectly timed. Dom, I take back my anger. Not only have you brought back reggae fever in the year of 2025, your banter levels have risen above and beyond anything we've reached in the first half of the series. Things are finally looking up for once. Just a shame about the fucking game choices.
Joss, they're using these Aura Interactor vests for this. Now, how will that enhance their game-playing experience?
It won't. Not even slightly. They just get to feel like a vibrating tortoise while they play a shit platform game. And we, the viewer, will experience absolutely nothing because it's not doing anything visual. They don't even cut back to the challenger at all while the game is playing. Anyway, let's skip to the second challenge for the spectacular fail this challenge deserved.
Your 45 seconds begins now. Okay, of course, Ross, 2,700 points to beat. And nice little gentle nose flick for that one, little bogey there, Joss. He's taking another hit, Joss.
Well, but he's just taken a hit. He's got to be very careful not to take any more.
Okay,
all right.
800 points, 14 seconds gone. He's been hit again, and this is curtains. This is absolute curtains for Ross. He dissolves, which means Andrew is the winner.
And that's the end of that episode. We're sort of wavering between much better banter and much shitter games. But who cares? Reggae Summer 2025. It's going to be the highlight of our lives. This episode is brought to you by Leo Sayer. It's episode 12, and after Dominic's opening waffle about Nout, we find out today's challenge is Bomberman 2, which means they've also brought in this thing, which even a furry would have to question sticking their dick in.
What's your two favourite films of all time?
I like Bloodsport and Oliver's alright.
Two very similar films there.
Bloodsport and Oliver? This kid is a confirmed psychopath.
Please, sir, I want some more. What? I'd do anything for you.
Okay, Matthew, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I do martial arts quite a bit.
Can you show us any of the... A little quick one?
Not with my jeans on.
Not with your jeans on. Okay, fair enough, we'll accept that. And finally, Charles Berry. Charles, anyone call you Chuck? No?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And what do you like to get up to when you're not playing games?
Disco skating.
Disco skating? Whereabouts this?
In Hull.
In Hull? Everybody in Hull, do they all go down?
Yes, most people.
Okay, this guy is absolutely stoic. Firstly, he does disco skating, which screams a level of confidence I don't think anyone should be allowed to carry at any given time. But when Dom tries to smirk and giggle his way through the topic, this lad just responds with absolutely zero fucks given. This is the role model for our youth right here. Not this kid with the weird film taste. Not this kid who refuses to do martial arts because he's got his jeans on. This kid, the one who straps cold metal to his feet every weekend and dances the fucking night away. Anyway, here's the news.
The release of Bomberman 2 has seen those big-headed bomb tossers making something of a comeback, nowhere more so than Japan, where the country is in the grip of Bomberman mania, a condition exacerbated by a daily diet of these bizarre but strangely irresistible ads. With the worldwide advertising campaign in full progress, Sega are claiming they're already more 32Xs in British homes than Jaguars and 3DOs combined.
That's not a lot of people.
I've got lots of guys, but I want a real man. I've got lots of guys.
All I wanna do is get wasted and fuck hoes, new town, new shows, and the same old clothes.
But I want a real man.
See, I'm a playboy. All I wanna do is get wasted and fuck hoes, new town, new shows, and the same old clothes.
I'm looking for value in a guy, and you sound cheap.
It's on my hard drive.
Anyway, stop the presses, it's that time again.
And helping me out on Bomberman is Dave Perry. Dave, grey bandana, grey blue, serious bandana for a serious challenge?
It's a very serious challenge. We've got the Bomberman actually here playing. Although he's playing Golden Bomberman in the game, he won't be allowed to use the power-ups that you usually get when you are made.
Right, so it's 3 contestants on this game that can host many, many players, and they've put them up separately against Bomberman. Only it's probably not against Bomberman, is it? Because how the fuck is he supposed to do anything in this thing? I've got very little love for this episode right now. Very little, Leo.
Careful, and it's so easy to walk into each other's bombs. Look at him kicking that bomb down. That was beautiful play.
What's that? I got nearly trapped.
He nearly got himself trapped. He a little too keen, going in for the kill.
But now he's running. He's got a bit scared now, I think, Matthew. He saw his day.
He thought he was getting a bit lucky. He thought he'd got Bomberman there. Now Bomberman's coming after him. And that's a totally different kettle of fish.
Oh no, the Skippy is going to go in time. No, he just stayed there. So Matthew bites the dust as well. Matthew, make way for Charles.
Could well have a corpse in there for all we know.
He's well excited. He can't contain himself. You can see it.
Certainly can't.
What an animal.
Best of luck, Charles.
They're obviously jealous of his mental acuity. This lad is currently 12 layers deep into transcendental meditation, while he's also being cajoled by these 2 chunderfucks. But little do they know he's about to blow this challenge into another dimension.
It's going to be it. It's blown up.
Or not. Shit. Well, I really wanted him to win just so he could skate off into the sunset while doing the John Travolta dance. I'd like to think our boy knew that this display of wanton self-assurance would have the nation scared and confused at such a magnificent display, so he just chose to lose on our behalf.
Round of applause, please, for our undefeated champion, Golden Bomberman!
He's clearly orange.
One word in turn which describes your dismal performance. David?
Boring.
Matthew?
Terrible.
And Chuck?
Horrible.
I think that sums it up. Round of applause, please, but not too loud. 1 for Chuck, Matthew, and David.
We still believe in you, Chuck. Something we don't believe in, though. Review scores. So let's look at Animaniacs on the SNES, which I've never played, but it's probably fine. Who cares?
You can go into all these different movie areas, like the sci-fi area, which is a particular favourite of mine, as you have these facehuggers leaping onto the poor little Animaniacs faces. It's a good game, very colourful, very nice, nicely reminiscent of the series. Nothing special, but a good game nonetheless.
80%, pretty solid, still don't really care that much. And what I care about even less is yet another review of a sensible soccer game, because we already know the approximate score it's going to get. Yes, 91%. That now puts sensible soccer games at 1st, 16th and 26th out of 190 games reviewed. To clarify, out of all of the games reviewed on GamesMaster, 1.6% of those games have been sensible soccer. Clearly a lot of love for Sensi.
How much love?
Lots, Leo. And now here's Power Rangers, which will not get 91%.
As a beat-em-up, Power Ranger isn't all that bad. It's easy to play, there's only 2 attack buttons, and there's some nice range of special moves.
The game on the Mega Drive is just absolutely rubbish. It's hardly Street Fighter, and there's just like not very many special moves. And the ones that there are, they're feeble and weak, and this deserves to be smacked around the head with a large cricket bat.
It's genuinely one of the worst games I have ever laid eyes on. The animation is awful, the graphics are terrible, the gameplay is tedious and repetitive. It is like Double Dragon on Valium.
3rd worst game ever reviewed there, for those keeping count. The Celebrity Challenge this week is on a game that probably scored higher than 33%. It's Fatal Fury thing, and it's a couple of wrestling guys I've never heard of, but they look very fancy in their Canadian flag dresses.
Okay, Marcus, I want to talk about the special moves that you guys do in the ring. What's your speciality?
Well, my special move in the ring is called a cradle soup.
Cradle soup sounds disgusting.
I'm very hard. Why the mask?
Well, without this mask, I consider myself just an individual competitor, just another wrestler. But when I put the mask on, not only do I all of a sudden take on and represent the hopes and dreams of all great Americans, but all great patriots across the world. You see, patriotism is just not excluded to America.
Oh, they're from America? I'm not sure I've heard of that. You know, people who are from America should really make it more obvious that's where they're from, perhaps by dressing in a manner that would give us some indication of that, or maybe just mentioning it every other sentence. That'd help the rest of the world know what America is and really put it on the map.
Welcome back. We have the 2 most fearsome stars of WCW wrestling, Stars and Stripes, the tag team,
with us tonight. With me in the commentary box still is Dave Perry. Dave, we've got some slightly misguided attempts at fashion here tonight, but enough about you. Tell us about the game. What kind of special moves have both the characters got?
You know, the saddest thing about this series in general is that Dave Perry, for as much as everyone thinks he's a massive wanker, has taken a back seat from his time at the helm with the boisterous Cockney, a demotion in anyone's book. And yet in this series, more than any other, he seems to balance not taking himself too seriously while also being the most knowledgeable about games. And all the while, Dom is just doing this when he's not looking. Dave is beginning to flower and Dom is rolling around in his fertilizer. He's showing him no love at all.
How much love? How much love?
None, Leo. None at all. Anyway, let's watch these men in fancy dress do some fighting.
Is Wolfgang Krauser on the right? You can see the energy bars at the top of the screen. I'd say that Big Bear slightly
Straight in the front. This is the ground slam from Big Bear. Oh. He slams Wolfgang down on his head, and that took some energy. And that's the fireball
from Wolfgang.
Good reply. A good reply. They're both standing off. I think Wolfgang's trying to pull off a special move, and it's not happening.
Both about level though, so Big Bear's in trouble now.
Big Bear's lights flashing, his energy bar's flashing, and then
Wolfgang Krauser takes the first one.
Well, that was fucking boring, wasn't it? Let's look at some crap features.
The latest state-of-the-art computer graphics were on show recently at the London Graphics Expo. This particular Arsenal footballers from the forthcoming PC game Creature Shock. Namco Japan showed off their graphics know-how with this entry, Little Topo's Adventure, depicting the Cretaceous but ultimately fruitless capers of a baby dinosaur. Go on, kill him.
I'm not gonna lie, that was the exact line going through my head. I think I've watched too much GamesMaster. Either that or I just want something to happen.
Mortal Kombat publishers Acclaim demonstrated their expertise in motion capture.
New Fallout's looking good, but all of this is just a massive pile of bollocks, isn't it? Because no games ever looked like this on the systems at the time. Hugely disappointing. And to add to the disappointment, there's no third challenge. We have to watch Dom getting touched up instead.
You may be wondering why an unknown American is attaching electrode-type sensors to various parts of my anatomy. Well, this isn't one of my more peculiar sensual experiences. This is in fact a graphics technique used for the latest state-of-the-art beat-em-up from Accolade, The Next Breed. Motion capture is the computer modelling technique that turns this into this. I asked my chubby mate Scott to give me a demo of how it's done.
There are 6 cameras around us here that use these sensors to track the position of the joints of your body. And these cameras are hooked up to those computers over there, and will produce a 3D coordinate grouping of all your actions that we later use in the game.
So by the end of the process, we can get from me, if I punch someone here wearing these, then by the end of that, I could be punching someone in the actual game.
It's like talking to a dog.
Once the motion has been captured, it's a join-the-dots type situation to create a line figure, which is then expanded and placed in a 3D environment, allowing it to be seen from any angle.
There's something so perfect about the fact they've just wasted the last part of this episode talking about the making of a game that didn't even come out because it was cancelled. If that doesn't sum up this entire episode, I don't know what does.
I'm pleading with you, babe. You gotta let me in.
Episode 13, unlucky for some, but mostly for us. Today's first challenge is Twisted, which is likely going to result in yet another barely watchable piece of television.
Why don't we find out which of television's tortured talent will be playing this round of Twisted?
Hi, I'm David, and I served in Vietnam.
Great! Just great! And now, contestant number 2...
I'm Jason. I like collecting small furry animals.
Great! Now let's get twisted!
Solid TV. Let's move on to the news, and it's the rise of the PC.
Unless you've been living in Swindon, you can't have failed to have noticed that the PC seems to be taking over the world, with over 160,000 units sold in the UK in 1 month alone. A recent survey by chip manufacturers Intel showed a multimedia PC to be one of the most covetable items in the UK, second only to a pair of nice comfortable pants. So kids everywhere are looking forward to playing great games, logging onto the net, and generally ignoring girls and their academic careers.
There's also something about a game where you play a big blue dildo in the ocean, and another one where a robot does a thing, but most importantly, it's time to make some money.
As the National Lottery enters its second month, you may be feeling you're never going to get your hands on all that indirect taxation. Help is at hand with Just Lotto, a PC application that attempts to predict the next series of winning numbers by analysing the previous weeks. Just Lotto costs around 20 quid and comes with a free t-shirt bearing the slogan, "I am a complete buck and will believe anything."
Yeah, you'd be lucky to make your money back on that one. The Twisted Challenge is made up of a few rounds because it feels like they're really trying to sell this thing. The first round is basically the same as that other game, but you don't have to suffer Guns N' Roses. And the second challenge is this one.
Your time starts now. Okay, off we go. Little cards. Oh, little faces. I saw a baby there, Steve.
I saw an egg.
There's a bird.
I think I'll put that one, huh?
And Abraham Lincoln's there as well. 20
And
seconds
Brains
left.
from Thunderbirds.
Has he actually matched any? I don't, oh, yeah,
Yeah, he's done the egg one.
And Abe Lincoln. The baby was down there, that's correct.
Yeah,
okay.
that's Freddy Krueger.
10 seconds left.
There's something amazing about just being able to watch a simple game like this on the screen, and you can actually see how awkward it is to control with that pad. Also, when I said they're really trying to sell this game, they're really trying to sell this game.
And as they ring-a-ring-a-rosy again, we'll take another twisted commercial break.
Ladies, forget the guesswork. Let Stud Finder find your stud.
Use sewer-scented Get Lost deodorant. One lift of your arm and they'll stay away for good.
They must have had a bung to feature it this much. It's going to take up the entire first half of the show at this rate, and it doesn't get any more interesting.
Okay, facelift saloon, 3 very mixed up faces here, Steve.
It looks alright to me, Dominic. I mean, this is like a Beverly Hills game, isn't it? It's like, you know, pick a face, any face.
He's done it
already! My word!
So quick!
Don't fancy yours much.
What a fight back! Where did it go wrong for you?
I think it was the middle puzzle there. I should have got that one, so one more left to get.
I think calling them puzzles is a bit of a stretch.
And as for you, David, I'm tempted to say fluky, but was it a fluke, that last one?
Oh no.
It's like a sort of Arsenal last-minute equaliser, wasn't it?
Oh no.
Yeah, which is a bit typical. Well, it means that, unfortunately, like Arsenal, you end up with a trophy as well, because you're the winner of the GamesMaster Golden Joystick. Another round of applause for David and Jason.
That face cuts like a knife, doesn't it? Well, this has been an absolutely shocking half an episode so far, but I'm sure the reviews can make it worse. Have another mascot platformer.
For those of you that have got Aero the Acrobat, you're going to find this game very similar. Zero, it uses the same sort of like level layout, if you will. The only real difference that he has over Aero is that he can do a double spin.
It does have some nice sub-games. At one point you get to go on a speedboat, which is a really nice little touch. However, graphically it's gorgeous, but it doesn't really offer anything over Aero the Acrobat.
This is very standard platform fare. There's really not much to do. I mean, it's something that seems to have been made about a year ago, and it really doesn't deserve your attention.
Doesn't deserve your attention, 81%. Something that does deserve your attention, though, is Bloodshot, a Doom clone on the Mega Drive that also had a split-screen deathmatch mode that barely anyone played.
Basically, each mission is roughly the same. You have to make your way to the centre of a maze, destroy a Guardian boss, and then things go haywire and you have to escape before the level you're on blows up.
The graphics aren't up to much. Sort of like Zero Tolerance as well, but I'd say that Zero Tolerance was a better game because you could actually link up physically 2 Mega Drives to each other and play it on 2 different screens.
Unfortunately, if you really want a good into-the-screen shoot-em-up and wander around 3D-em-up...
2 genres we sorely miss. I can already sense this is getting in the 70% zone, and, 80% should have learned my lesson from Kamikaze, which apparently is 1% better. Last on the roster is another Marvel game.
Basically, it's a platform game.
Of course, this is not the first attempt to recreate a Marvel character on the Mega Drive or the SNES.
You might actually be better off trying something like Spider-Man in the X-Men, which features a lot of the same Spider-Man and virtually identical gameplay, albeit with smaller Spider-Man. This isn't bad, but it's not really Spider-Man.
74%. Just a quick maths reminder that 73% of the games reviewed so far have had a score of 70% and up. Or to shock you further, 56% of games get a score of at least 80%. Only 5% of the games during the entire show's runtime so far have scored below 50%. These guys aren't exactly of the highest taste when it comes to cherry-picking the classics. Anyway, the Celebrity Challenge is on Supercarts, which feels like something you'd get free on a Windows 95 disc. And our man of the hour is David Coulthard.
Now, David, this is a karting game we're playing tonight, but you began your career on the go-karts. What's the difference between racing the go-karts and the Formula 1 cars?
Well, the main difference is really about 150 miles an hour. Because obviously carts you can go up to about 50 or 60. But
No, in this game you can't. Top speed seems to be about 14 miles an hour. Thankfully, our co-commentator for this one is a guy whose mouth moves at least 3 times that speed.
Brad Burton from Amiga Action is helping me out. Brad, any tips for David?
Yeah, well, what David's got to do is keep out the black, in the red, you don't get nothing for two in the bed.
No, Brad, I think that's bullseye.
Sorry, mate, miles away. Now, what he's going to do, keep out the black, in the red, you don't get nothing for two in the bed.
Okay, thank you very much, Brad. Best of luck then, David. He's got 3 laps in which to finish first. Let's go to the starting line. So there's David in his red car. You can see his position on the left of the screen. He's the man in the grey hair. He's third last to start, and he's been overtaken at the start. He's right down to last place. But I'm sure that won't be too much of an impediment. He's a very fast starter, David Coulthard there. We're still waiting to see some evidence of it. Yeah, that's it. He's zipped up. He's in 5th place now. This is much better.
Jesus, Web, just play Mario Kart, or at least Street Racer. This is offensive to look at. The game is 70% skybox.
He's going to have to make a desperate spurt for the end of this. Helmet's glistening, but he's still taking it too wide. He's in 6th place now. We're coming to the end. He's making left to the board, and that's it. It's over.
Which means David Coulthard finishes in 6th place.
It's 1994. They could have been playing Scunny Kart, but instead they chose this. Disgusting.
Now, David, you got a great start, but we sort of expected that you'd go off quick. But then what went wrong?
I made the classic mistake. Too quick into the corners and running
What was
away.
the problem? Setup of the car, was that all right, though?
I think there was some other team playing.
Not mentioning any words, Benetton or anything.
Well,
like
yeah,
that
I think it
at
could
all.
well have been Benetton.
I don't like
yeah.
to do this because you are just about the only other Scottish person that we've got on this show, the series. But because you finished 6th, we're going to have to black flag you away. Another round of applause for our special guest, David Coulthard.
Let's get into the feature reel and see if the Saturn's dead yet.
The first batch of games for Sega's new Saturn console are now gracing Tokyo stores, and like the PlayStation stuff we showed you a couple of weeks ago, most of these games have a distinctly rushed look about them. Things like Tama, another ball and a maze type game that Japanese pump their nads over, or Mahjong, a stunning arcade action game which really sets the pulse racing. Hang on a minute, Gale Racer, this seems quite good. On the other hand, maybe not. It looks like a bad Mega Drive game.
Harsh.
Wang Chai shows off the full motion video capabilities of the console. This scene shows the head of Sega examining the receipts for the 232Xs sold so far. Now, it's no use blaming that guy. It's a conversion of an old Mega CD title. It certainly looks a lot better on the Saturn. Mind you, we might as well admit that the Mega CD was poo. Eh? I bet you never thought you'd be grateful for a platform game, but Clockwork Knight really is a cut above the rest.
It is incredible a mediocre platform game like Clockwork Knight can be heralded simply because everything else is so guff. Sega really did fumble their position spectacularly, didn't they?
Now Mickey's hands are creeping saucily towards the end of the show. Before they do, let's go over to GamesMaster and find out what the final challenge is.
Actually, I've had enough of challenges for the moment, so I've decided instead to show you a rather interesting feature I prepared earlier.
The internet is Urban Myth City. You hear about all sorts of exciting things and then spend hours failing to find them. So today, GamesMaster presses all the right buttons to bring you 4 new sites for musos and movie lovers. 100,000 Pulp Fiction fans have already visited this, the official website of the hit movie that's becoming a bit cliched now. You can download stuff about the characters and plot, and even groovy samples from the soundtrack. Also, if you've got the time, a 30-second clip featuring official Fitbird Uma Thurman.
Okay, we need to do a check and see if these websites are still alive. Let's try Music Base. No. Okay, what about the Internet Underground Music Archive? Yes, sort of. It seems to be hosted by archive.org now, but God bless them for keeping that glorious landing page.
BS, you can sample new albums by Prince, R.E.M. and official Unfitbird Madonna. Unfortunately, there is. Sad Trekkies can argue about minuscule plot quibbles till their anoraks come home.
Yeah, I can tell you for now that this one's entirely dead, but just in case you were wondering why Supercarts was on today's episode...
And not to be outdone, GamesMaster this week launches GameLine, our very own downloading service featuring demos of the biggest PC games coming your way, with the first feature game being David Coulthard's personal favourite, Supercarts.
Yeah, that's why. And that's the end of this episode. This may actually be the most boring one yet. And we've got, 5 episodes left? Well, they can't get much lower than this. I suppose that's a plus, isn't it? It's episode 14, and look who's ready for Hashtag Reggae Summer 2025! More importantly than all of that though, not only is the first challenge the best game in what feels like a decade, it's also just one of the best games ever. Windjammers, baby! The only way we could make this episode better is if they, I don't know, had some sort of surprise challenge between Kylie Minogue and John Major.
Welcome to the show, Kylie. Welcome, John Boy. Okay, Kylie, you've changed your image recently. It's a bit more sexy, a bit more sassy. Why is that?
Well, I'm showing people I'm more serious these days. I'm a big girl now.
I kind of suspected that was the reason, Kylie. And now, Mr. Major, sir, you haven't changed your image. Why not?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I've changed my mind. This is the worst idea they've ever had. We're basically going to be forced to watch two people who look like two other people play one of the greatest games ever made badly. What fun! Here's the news.
Donkey Kong Country, essentially a platform game. It does import next generation graphics using the Silicon Graphics machine. However, this doesn't hide the fact that it's actually very dull.
Oh god, he's decided to play the part of that guy on social media who starts all of his sentences with unpopular opinion, :
While we're on the subject of overrated games, Rise of the Robots, the game that's taken about 40 years to finally get here.
Or not. Slagging off Donkey Kong Country and Rise of the Robots in the same sentence is wild.
Earthworm Jim, you cannot beat. Definitely the most imaginative platform game ever written. Puts Donkey Kong to complete shame.
Once again with the DKC slander, this is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I thought the reviewers were bad, but this is a hot soup of controversy.
The big question facing Sega owners, do they buy a 32X or not? Well, yes, it is good, but it's only a year until Sega's new Saturn comes out. So the other thing you ought to bear in mind is don't pay too much attention to things like this, which says 50 quid off 32X software. It's actually £5, £10 off vouchers. And when you consider there's only 3 32X games out, this is a little bit of advertiser's license.
Cheeky bastards.
There's been a huge boom in PC buying this year. This is probably the ultimate. It comes from Linux. It's got a very compact CPU, but it's got a Pentium chip, 100 megahertz clock speed, 1000 meg hard drive and 64 meg RAM. It also has an unfeasibly large monitor. All this means it could probably tell you when you needed to change your pants, but at £6,000, you probably couldn't afford it.
Christ alive, adjusting for inflation, that's £12,472 for a PC that wouldn't have even had Windows 95 yet, meaning you wouldn't get to experience Weezer's Buddy Holly at a postage stamp resolution.
Now, all this official stuff's very well and good, but if you're an impatient young pup who longs to get their hands on some foreign elements, the best thing to do is to visit one of this country's quality import shops, like this one. Furthest away from me, wearing Ridge Racer pants, is the Sony PlayStation, costing 750 quid.
Again, adjusting for inflation, 1,559 quid for a PS1. It's basically the price of a house back then. Anyway, do you all want to see an image that will be seared into your mind forevermore?
Come on and shine, shine like a star.
Horrific. Windjammers with Kylie Minogue and the Right Honourable John Major MP.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about this. What even is this episode? It's supposed to be a beach special, which doesn't make a great deal of sense because they're not on a beach. And then they bring in Kylie, which I guess makes sense, Australia and all that, but John fucking Major.
Kylie's in the red on the left and Mr. Major is in the blue on the right. It's fairly average.
And as expected, they are absolutely ruining Windjammers. What in the living fuck are they doing? The goal isn't to pass it to one another, for Christ's sake. I can't watch this. I think this may be a beach special because it's making me want to bury my head in the sand.
That's a beautiful bit, but John got behind it. Nice one, John. Got behind.
This is the worst thing that has ever been on television.
Bad luck, Mr. Major. Now, Kylie, you took the first set, but were you worried at that point?
No, I knew I could do it.
Yeah, and we're very pleased you did, because, Mr. Major, you weren't terribly popular with our crowd.
It's just midterm unpopularity, that's all.
This is the worst thing that has ever been on television. Let's get on with the reviews.
First up, the game that launched 1,000 complaints from dull Salvation Army blokes, Cannon Fodder on the Mega Drive.
Cannon Fodder on the Mega Drive is probably one of the best games this year. It's had me playing it for an absolute age. It's brilliant. It's got loads of bullets in, loads of blood in, and I'm going to say it again, it's got guns in it.
You get 72 missions of overhead view battling with military-style tactics, including driving cars and flying airplanes and helicopters. And there's loads to do. It's very cute, also very violent in a sort of cutesy way, and highly tactical and strategic.
If you're using a joypad, it's actually all very difficult and annoying to play.
Personal anecdote, I never really liked cannon fodder because, unbeknownst to me, having it on the SNES was the worst thing I could have had it on. You go and try and play cannon fodder with a gamepad and tell me I'm wrong. I've never played it since. Tarnished. Fully tarnished. 88%. And time for yet another Street Fighter 2 version.
And now, showing that the 3DO is the console for startlingly original brand new games, Super Street Fighter 2.
Here's a surprise. 3DO's been out for a year and there's finally a brilliant game for it. If they'd released Super Street Fighter X on 3DO the day it was released, 3DO would have been installed worldwide.
I don't think so at all. The only bugbear I have is with the 3DO joypad itself, which is impossible to get to grips with, and pulling off fireballs and dragon punches is much harder than, say, on the SNES joypad. So somebody bring out a nice joypad or joystick with 3DO.
I don't think we'll be seeing anything else get 90% on the 3DO, or actually, I doubt we'll be seeing anything else on the 3DO, really. No third review this week, but the GamesMaster Online Service is offering a demo of a point-and-click title I've literally never heard of, Big Red Adventure. I'm sure it's wonderful. Let's go on with the second challenge on Smash Tennis, and this is where we should have some celebrities on, but as we're, for some reason, featuring fake celebrities, here we have Fake That. What am I doing with my life?
Fake That, of course, unlike our other celebrity guests on the show, who are all real, especially Kylie. Do you genuinely get mistaken for Take That when you're around, hanging around?
When we're all together like this, we do all the time. Yeah.
So you've been mobbed on occasion?
Okay. I could see Gary Barlow. I could see Jason Orange. I think this guy is the one who has the goatee, which means one of these two is supposed to be Robbie Williams and the other one is supposed to be the one who wasn't Robbie Williams. I have no idea which is supposed to be which, and presumably they spend a lot of time at the back of the stage under dim lights.
How about the money side of it? Do you make as much money as Take That?
Yes,
yeah?
More than once.
But you're obviously getting well paid for coming on GamesMaster.
Yes,
yeah?
More than once.
All right, while we discuss further the vast amounts of money we pay our guests on this show, we'll take a quick Christmas break.
So, for those unfamiliar with this episode, I thought it'd obscure the fact it's actually a Christmas episode until the midway point, just to see if any of you picked up on it prior to the reveal. Anyone who says they did work it out in the comments before the reveal is a fucking liar, and deserves to be called a cad and a bounder.
With me in the commentary box, and actually looking more like Kylie than our Kylie did, is Dave Perry.
Oh, bless him. He really enjoyed that compliment. What a sweet man he is.
First off, I take offence at that comment. I'm far better endowed than Kylie.
God, I take it back.
The main thing with tennis games is to draw the players into the net.
Jason about to serve. Oh, no, good start, Dave.
Bit of a mistake, bit of an air ball.
There he goes again.
Oh,
double fault to start the game.
Tennis is just pong for people who wear tighty whities. Skip to the end of this gash, although I am now questioning how a fake band with 5 people in it are playing a tennis game that hosts 4 people. Presumably the guy who plays Robbie Williams has left the band and is playing his own single-player game of Smash Tennis just off to the side.
Jason and Mark, you were the winners. Talk us through it. What were some of your strengths then?
Well, I think it was just team effort. We were in there doing the business and we won.
I think, the words double in fault soon became apparent. And let's pass the mic back to Gary for a final summing up. Gary, an impartial overview of it.
Well, I think under my direction, they're always winners.
Fucking hell, at least Barry Garlow has managed to capture Gary Barlow's soul-crushingly boring chat. And can I just say, I hate this episode. I never thought I'd say it, but I'd rather watch Gormless Children play a shit mascot platformer instead of whatever the fuck Boogie Ball is, being played by 2 lookalikes of
Michael Jackson and Macaulay Culkin.
That's a crime.
Michael. Okay. All right, Michael, how's the wife?
She's fine, thanks.
Good. And are we going to hear the pitter-patter of tiny feet around Neverland?
Pretty sure that was a constant.
While Michael and Macaulay are getting into their virtual reality chambers, it gives me a second to point out we've had lots of people phoning up during the show casting doubt on the trueness of some of our celebrities tonight. Well, I can say, yes, you are correct, that Dave Perry is a Dave Perry imitator. In fact, very lifelike, and he even sounds the same. You've done a great job tonight, but I'd like you to come clean now and give Michael and Macaulay some tips on this game.
Well, it's a computer game, and
I don't know anything about
This is better than the real Dave Ferry, actually, I think. Okay, here comes the ball now for you at home. Michael is in the blue car, Macaulay is in the green car.
The green Land Rover, and Macaulay is a moose, and Jacko is actually an elephant.
There's another two cars in there, but they're computer-controlled cars as well. You got to get that ball and easily knock over the rim and chase the ball around, Dave. That's
right, you just bump into the ball. That's it, a goal for the red car.
Yes, the rim is flashing red. That means that the red car, which is a computer car, has scored 1 point.
Let me just reiterate, this is the worst episode of GamesMaster that has ever been on TV. This is below the Lambeth Walk series. This is a hot, smelly mess.
So all you've got to do is head to the centre. That's the red car
again, another one. Is it going to get to the... Not quite to the rim, so someone could really jump in now, Dave.
Yes, here comes the green Land Rover. That's going to try and steal it, but the red car got there first.
What is this game? What is this game? We're not watching this. I'd rather chew my own knuckles off and...
Stop! I'm sorry, I simply can't tolerate games playing of this standard. Let's have a feature instead.
Oh, thank God someone else is on my side.
American audiences are bracing themselves this week as Street Fighter the movie joins the annual beat-em-up between the big Christmas hits.
Second best video game movie, only beaten by Double Dragon. Don't come at me with your Mortal Kombat garbage. Street Fighter is the best live pantomime show you can get your hands on.
The plot could most generously be described as straightforward, but with plenty of action.
Let's go.
And Jean-Claude's trademark classy dialogue.
I'm going to kick.
I don't think so.
To do better than that. I'm going to kick.
Of course, the most important thing about the film is that official Fitbird Kylie Minogue is in it. We can all take a peek at her when the movie opens in the States on Friday and over here in mid-1995.
I'm going to kick.
Thank God that's over with. Merry Christmas. Right, the worst is out of the way, and while it may look like Dom's given up and is about to down some bleach, it's surprisingly not the case. But it really should be, considering the first challenge is on the Smurfs. Once again, I'd like to remind everyone, 1994 is one of the most exciting periods for gaming, possibly the most exciting, and unlike anything we'll ever get again. And we're going to watch someone play the fucking Smurfs.
So, please welcome our first challengers, Lee, Lewis Marie and David Shomney. Right, Lee, we'll start with you. Before the show we said to you, who's your favourite babe? And you said Emma. Now, who is Emma?
It's just someone I know, and I ain't seen her. Nothing, it's just someone I know.
You're not seeing her? She's not a girlfriend or that?
No, yes, she is. She ain't.
Oh, she is a girlfriend?
Yes, she is. Like your 12-year-old girlfriend.
Shut up! That was a lie. That was a lie.
You might be wondering where Dom's patented Banter Barometer has gone, and honestly, I don't even know how to rate some of this stuff. I don't know if Dom's at fault, or the people he's interviewing are at fault, or a mixture. I feel like I'd need a gauge for every single person on the show, and I just don't believe anyone is worth that effort. Let's get to the news.
You've had the Duff Toys, the Art House videos and the tragic cartridge games, but now we've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on the Mega CD. It's a play-along an episode type situation. When the spandex-clad heroes pull off their unfeasibly impressive moves, you must press the corresponding buttons prompted on the screen.
You know, I take it back slightly. This might have been one of the most exciting times for gaming, but it was also rife with absolutely hot garbage. Maybe playing the Smurfs is a decent choice.
What was it? What was it? What was it? Fortunately, he has a Timex Datalink watch that's saving the lives of parachutists all across America. It's a personal organiser on your wrist that reminds you of appointments, birthdays, telephone numbers, that kind of thing. This watch is saying, "Hello American bloke, your clothes are Duff." The watch comes with database software for your PC. Simply select what info you want to download from your personal records, set your watch to the right mode, click, and the info is downloaded. Sensors on the watch read the flashing bars, a beep signifies it's all sent. The watch stores up to 10 entries. Millions of American men claim the watch has even saved their marriages.
Awesome, thank you. You know, for the first time I didn't forget my wedding anniversary.
What is it about men constantly forgetting important dates? Was that just a thing that constantly happened back then? Or was it a thing that advertisers made up to convince men they needed to buy a watch to remind them that they'd sired a son once a year? It's very odd. I, personally, have only ever forgotten my own birthday, and in a fit of irony, all I ever longed for was a watch that reminded me of when my birthday was.
Right, smurfing along with me on this challenge is Simon Byron from The One. Welcome, Simon.
Hi, Dominic.
Simon, what type of smurf would you like to see?
I've always thought the Smurfs are too cute, so one which you could pull its head off, I think, would be
A headless Smurf?
Yes.
I always wanted to see a Salman Rushdie Smurf. Except I suppose you wouldn't really see it, would you? Very often.
Okay, the banter barometer is definitely still required.
Okay, of course, David, he's got this little present in his hand. That's actually a bomb sound. What can he do with that?
That's right. He's going to use it to destroy these boulders so that he can make his way through. But what he's got to be careful of is that not to be caught by the explosion, because they actually damage him.
Okay, then he's just up on the spring.
They're falling blocks. You can't hang around too long there.
Those blocks have gone now. It could be cut. So David, he hits the lava. He's not even gone 20 seconds. David's challenge is finished. Can he make way for Lee?
I felt absolutely nothing during that. No emotion whatsoever.
31 seconds gone. He's doing more. Everything's collapsing here.
Yeah, he's going to take a hit here, but that's
How many
okay.
hits can he take?
He's 3 in total, so he's got 2 left, and that's it. He's done it.
That's it. He's done it.
Excellent.
Stuffing it. Lee has won the challenge. Bad luck, David. Congratulations, Lee. We'll start with you first of all, David. You were going all right there. Then what went wrong? What caught you out there?
I don't know. He just went. Just shut up, right? I'll beat you up. I'll beat you up afterwards.
Beat me up with what?
Yes, I will.
He's rubbish. Could you beat each other up? Could you beat each other up now? Get up! That was a bit pathetic, wasn't it? He's not going to be very scared of you now.
So many domestic situations in this series. Fights on TV, love lost live on television. It's miserable. And speaking of miserable, here's some wrong reviews.
First up, it's Rye Star. He's a star and he has a wry sense of humour, apparently.
Part of the Sonic team were involved in the development of this game, and it really shows. It looks very similar to Sonic. It also plays a lot like Sonic, which is a bit disappointing. We would really expect Spider-Man.
Basically, he's got these long arms that reach out and grab you and headbutt you like that. He doesn't move as fast as what Sonic actually did. This isn't a bad thing. It's small. It gives you more time to actually go around and explore.
You have to ask yourself, do I want another platform game? If you do, it's not a bad choice, but personally I think Dynamite Headdy might be a better one to do.
That's going to upset a few of you. As good as Doctor Who Dalek Attack on the Amiga, for those wondering. Next up, it's Afterburner.
It's not often people complain about arcade perfect conversions, and Afterburner is arcade perfect. It looks exactly like Spider-Man.
Can't really do much. It's very limited gameplay. You can do barrel rolls and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have a more complicated and strategic shoot-'em-up than Afterburner on my 32X.
Why are they bringing out Afterburner and another game, Space Harrier? These are old arcade games, and okay, they were admittedly fun in their heyday, but now they've just got nothing.
For once, I agree with them. Afterburner is shite, and people only liked it because they got to sit in a big machine and go whee! And don't get me started on Space Harrier. 66% deserved. Now it's time for Biker Mice from Mars, which is unnecessarily decent.
It does look extremely smart. It's a nice view, nice perspective, lots of nice colours, and it whizzes along at a fair old pace.
Biker Mice is basically, rock and roll racing. It looks the same, it plays the same. There are a couple of differences though. You can just basically freeze your opponents, drive past them, go into the lead, or cause an earthquake which slows them down loads and you're not affected.
It can get tedious after a while.
You enjoy nothing in life. I haven't seen him crack so much as a fart, let alone a smile. 72%, apparently as good as Way of the Warrior on 3DO. Today's free demo on the GamesMaster service is Lion King, which is, well, it's better than Big Red Adventure.
As if we didn't already spend enough time gazing vacantly at our TVs, technology is on the way that'll turn the average family of the future into hopeless addicts.
Good morning. Morning, Justin.
Morning, Dad.
Hey, I thought we said no video games before school.
Dad, I'm downloading something from the Library of Congress.
You're a fucking liar.
Hey, Justin, would you check on the status of United Flight 111 for me? And while you're at it, check the weather in Miami?
Do it yourself, bird. Yes, interactive TV is on the way, an emerging technology that'll transform our TVs from passive consumer durables churning out sitcoms into indispensable gateways to that much-touted high-tech nirvana, the information superhighway.
No, we're not doing that again. We're not doing information superhighway again. It's been done. If you know, you know, but you can carry on knowing.
Please identify yourself.
Oracle is one of the flashiest systems being developed in the States.
Hello, Larry. You look great today. You have 4 messages, and you have 3 reminders.
What is she, a ventriloquist?
You have selected action movies. Please choose from star, director, decade, or ratings.
God, I wish the internet was like this. I want every website to have a host who explains all of my choices. The internet was much cooler when it wasn't real and everyone imagined what it could have been.
Hi, this is Bruce from Mici's Pizza. First, you need to select the pizza size.
Okay. Pizza sniffers can even shop from their seat.
In department stores, you have a choice of Macy's, Saks Fifth Avenue, Emporium, Neiman Marcus, or select more.
With every whim from a Chinese takeaway to an impromptu business meeting instantly indulged, the computing power required by interactive TV systems is formidable. BT are testing a system which uses relatively modern phone lines, but if widespread interactive TV proves impossible without new cable, it'll still take years to lay the thousands of miles required. However, if the arrival time of these new TV systems is uncertain, there's no doubt that by the turn of the century, the interactive TV will be the most powerful info and entertainment tool we possess.
Can't help you with what you must soon face, except to say that the future is not set.
Our celebrity challenge is...
Newman Athletics.
Is this even a real game? Anyway, we've got some sportsmen.
Roger, we're in the close season just now. What sort of things do you get up to?
Not a lot.
Yeah. And I suppose this last season, I mean, for you it was relatively injury-free for a change.
It was very injury-free.
Was it a dream season for you, Dwayne, yeah?
It was indeed. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
You'd feed a family of 4 with the amount of plums in these two's mouths. I feel underdressed just watching them. Or I would do if Brad wasn't here to bring things back down to earth where we all belong.
Meet the runners, Roger Black and Dwayne Ladejo. They're about to play Newman Athletics. Helping me out at trackside is Amiga Action's Brad Burton. Welcome, Brad.
I'm on.
Now, Brad, any tips for Roger and Dwayne?
Well, what they're going to have to do here, Dominic, is get the rhythm right. When it comes down to tapping the buttons, right, we've got to tap the speed up, and then you've got to press the other button to do whatever the action is, be it jumping or be it stopping the train. You'll see that.
Yes, we'll get it in the end. Okay, so we're looking for a couple of pairs of strong wrists here. Best of luck. We've got 3 semi-athletic disciplines. Whoever wins 2 of them will get the golden joystick. Let's go to the first event. Brad! I'm out of breath now. Talk us through that race.
My word. What can I say? You see the speed then? These guys are fire coming out of the boots. Amazing. But the thing is, what's happened here, they've been bitten by a radioactive limpid crystal. I think that was what where they got the power from there.
Okay, now we go into event number 2. And this is the train push. Tap it! Now we go into the final event. What have we got coming up, Brad? It's the block smash.
That's right, mate. The thing is with this one, anyone who's played Mortal Kombat knows exactly what this is about. You power up, you get your energies together, and boom! Right, you gotta tap the speed up, and then you gotta press to the button. See what the action is. Jumping or being stuck in the train. You'll see that. Hello. You smash the rock.
Okay, both Dwayne and Roger have 25 seconds to smash as many blocks as they can. Whoever smashes the most will get the joystick. Off we go, 3, 2, 1. And that is the time, and just by 2 points, Dwayne Ladejo is the winner!
He came through in the end, you know.
It was, but it was all of them were very, very close though.
Very close.
Dwayne.
I mean, we practiced before and they were close before then.
Yeah,
He's got faster fingers.
Time for these boys to head home and have some pims on the lawn, and then it's straight onto the features, and sadly, the 11th hour is coming out.
The plot of 11th Hour, on the surface, is the story of Carl Denning, gone off to look for his lover and his producer, Rob Morales, who's gone to research an old haunted house.
You're Carl Denning, you're the reporter, and as you play 11th Hour, it's more like being involved in a movie that you have control of.
Help me, please. I can't get out.
And as with Seventh Guest, impeding your path are crystal maze-type puzzles which must be conquered if you're to reach your damsel in distress. Oh dear, it's the mad bird again. No live humans were actually harmed in the making of this. The producers have used the old film against the blue screen, then key the action onto a computer background routine. Never fails.
I have a rule about people I work with.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't get involved.
Go on, mate, she is very fit.
Really rises above a lot of what's been done in the past.
Was it though?
I think there's a lot of substance here, and that's what we've tried to accomplish. I think we have.
Indeed, 11th Hour is likely to induce a spontaneous national outbreak of pant changing once more when it's released on PC soon.
Can't wait. Next episode. It's episode 16 and we're almost through with all of this, which is just as well because we're being forced to watch nobody's favourite game, Whiz on the Mega Drive.
The contestant has 2 minutes to finish the level.
Turn that fucking reverb down.
Now, Jason, when you're not playing video games, what would you like to do?
I like to go to the gym and work out.
Yeah, what are you pumping?
About 20 to 30 on my arms and 160 on my legs.
It's good. That's not bad going. Is that a sort of posy gym?
Yeah, slightly. They've got a posing room there for anyone who wants to go and show off.
A special room?
Yeah.
And what's the room like?
It's all mirrors.
And they just go in there and...
Yeah, show themselves off, grease themselves up, things like that, listen to music.
Well, usually I like to sort of finish with a snappy one-liner, but I don't think I can top this one, actually.
I would love an example of these snappy one-liners he's on about. Straight into the news then, and we're not only talking about the 32X, we're talking about Mortal Kombat again.
32X, with the release next February of the goriest beat-em-up of them all, Mortal Kombat 2, featuring faster gameplay and improved graphics. This week, Sega also unveiled their latest console, a Mega Drive and 32X combined, called the Neptune. The £200 Neptune is due next autumn, but we've managed to get hold of an exclusive picture of the machine, and doesn't it look gorgeous? Software publishers Acclaim have been lifting the lid on their spanky computer graphics studio in New York. These latest shots are from the Alien Trilogy game, and they're walking, talking, living proof that their motion capture technology captures more motions than anybody else's. Alien Trilogy isn't due till next November, but with sequences like this in the pipeline, it looks like it'll be well worth the wait.
Yes, nothing makes a game better to play than some FMV cutscenes.
Acclaim also have their fingers in another pie, the game conversion of the Judge Dredd movie, released later this year. Sly Stallone plays the part of the unforgiving lawman in this no-holds-barred blockbuster. I, for one, have already ordered a new pair of pants in anticipation.
You might want to get a refund on those.
Right, Jason Pickford is just about to play Whiz. Jason's pumping 20 to 30 on the legs, 160 on the arms. Joss Bilson is helping me out. Joss, do you pump?
Were you asking?
Perhaps. Joss, any tips for Jason?
Were you asking?
Perhaps. Oh, what's he doing with the strike? Oh, it's a bit of an in-off off the other opposite pocket. That was an excellent move there. 44 seconds left, though. The time's a bit hairy now, Joss, is it?
Yeah, he's got to keep going strong.
Okay, then. What's the next obstacle that we're going to face?
Right, now he has to make his way across a checkerboard.
Okay, we're just got there's the checkerboard there.
He's got to jump up.
Okay, and they're just going to disappear behind him, the little black checkers. It's going to give him some more points, but it's the time that's important. He's got 24.
He's got to push that dice across there.
I don't think he's going to do it, actually, Joe. I can't see him doing it.
It's tight.
17 seconds left. How close is he to the end?
He's pretty close. We're coming in.
Oh, poison again. No, he's going to get some more. He's going to find a medikit, yeah? Unless he just runs, can he still do it?
Unless he does it quickly.
He's got to go quickly. There's 6 seconds left. There's 5. There's a minute to line. Yes! So with 4 seconds remaining, Jason wins the challenge!
Well, bizarrely, that was the most exciting challenge in a good long while. Playing Whiz, of all things. Wonders never cease.
Did you have any problems at all?
Yeah, my hands keep slipping on the joystick and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's quite hot down here.
Yeah, it's boiling.
Because it is hell. And we're not known for our particularly mild winters, I suppose.
That must be one of those quippy one-liners we've heard so much about.
It's a good time, we've made it to number 200. It's a good time, what classic game have they blundered?
True Lies.
True Lies is awful. It has lots and lots of little sections, and not one of them really stands out on its own. None of them would be good enough as a game in its own right. So I'm afraid it's thumbs down for True Lies. Spider-Man.
A good game. Slightly let down by a bit stiff mechanics on the gameplay side. Occasionally you have to get very close to the baddies to actually be able to shoot them.
The scenes from the film are there, and it's more like a Chaos Engine in game style. That's not a bad thing, but it could have been done a lot better with some more platform scenes and stuff.
God, these guys are on the wrong side of history far too much. 78% for True Lies, which means even Balls got a better score. And this was the 200th review, and they've absolutely fluffed it. Useless, the lot of them. They're bound to get this next one right, though.
The 32X needs a beat-em-up. It already has shoot-em-ups and driving games in abundance. Cosmic Carnage is a reasonable effort. It's got some nice sprite scaling and some really good graphic effects.
There is, I suppose, a slightly redeeming feature of Cosmic Carnage, and that is you can select different parts of armour. You can kick your opponent's armour off, you can even kick their arms off and stuff, but basically just doesn't detract enough from the awful gameplay.
These ludicrously shambling figures, as they waddle onto the screen, don't really inspire in you the greatest thoughts of beat-em-up excellence. It's not terrible, but really I'd wait for something better to be converted to 32X.
Yeah, no real surprises there. Time for a Zelda knockoff on the Mega Drive.
It's got a lot in common with things like Spider-Man, in that you have to explore a lot of stuff, but there's also a good bit of action in there. There are very simple puzzles to solve, and the game is absolutely vast.
The graphics aren't exactly groundbreaking or anything, but they are very cute, very well drawn, and they suit the game perfectly. And even so, graphics in a game like this don't really matter. It just helps with the overall atmosphere and feel of the game.
The Mega Drive seems to lag about 3 years behind the SNES these days in terms of software games, and this is a case in point. Solai is an RPG very much in the Zelda mould. You've got about 4 months on your hand and you fancy getting your teeth into a game, and this is one for you.
4 months? Amateur. 77% seems a bit harsh, to be honest, but what do I know? Or care. The game line game today is Psycho Pinball, so this one is actually worth grabbing, and then we're straight onto a feature about CD-ROM infotainment.
Hi, I'm John de Blasio. What you've just seen, not many people can do.
I like pretty clothes, and I always will. I don't care whether everybody in the world goes around with their knees hanging out of their jeans. I won't.
Thank you, Bard. As well as Joan being pompous, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous cookbook offers vital information on the culinary tastes of the stars. Ivana Trump, for instance, goes for spicy beef goulash, while Roger Moore goes for eggs. All of this leaves us wondering, how did we ever survive without CD-ROM?
Truly, we lived in the golden time. Celebrity Challenge is Super Punch-Out, so at least that's worth a punt. And the guest is...
Nazim Hamid. Now, Nazim, when you took the European title off Belcastro, I noticed that in the final round, the ITV commentators, Gutledge and Watt, they were having a bit of a go at you because of all your showboat and you were taking the mick out of Belcastro a bit. Do you feel that you should be doing that?
In my style of fighting, I think I should be. I mean, people liked it and people didn't. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion at the end of the day. I'm still a winner, born to be king.
Yeah, and the funniest thing I thought, though, was when in an earlier fight, you called Gary Newborn Roger Melly, the man on the telly. Why did you call him that?
Roger Melly, the man on telly's got the name because he's always on telly. You look on telly at the sport venue or whatever and he's commentating. He's always on telly, so he's got to be Roger Melly, the man on the telly.
Spin us another yarn, Nazim. I'll be sure to pass these incredible tales on to my grandchildren.
What he's got to do is wait for Bear Hugger to raise his arms to attack. Then duck. Then duck. Then duck.
Okay, Nazim is in the front of us. He's the sort of silhouette figure. That's Bear Hugger, a fine fellow. He's in already. He's getting the points in already, Nazim.
As soon as Bear Hugger raising his arms, that's these ducks. He then goes close to the head. He's doing it just right. That's just the right tactic.
Okay, you can see the energy bars at the top of the screen. On the right is Bear Hugger's, on the left is Nazim's. And Nazim is clearly in the lead just now.
I'm bored. This goes on for a solid 2 minutes. Nazim wins, that's that. He doesn't say anything interesting. He just goes on about how he's going to be the best boxer who ever boxed. And then he went off and did some good boxing, so at least his life was pretty much all sorted out in his head. I'd love to be so singular-minded and confident, but I can't even brush my own teeth without accidentally farting. But let's go and check out Lawnmower Man 2, the greatest sequel ever made.
Excuse me if I wet myself. Lawnmower Man was one of the most successful films of recent years, and Lawnmower Man 2 looks set to be just as big. The sequel picks up from last movie with bad guy Job attempting to take over a world now hopelessly at the mercy of virtual reality. On the day we visited, the crew were filming the opening scene for the film set in the LA of the future. Star bloke Patrick Bergin plays the hero Trace, a disillusioned VR expert who takes on Job at his own game. Oi, stop kissing that bird, Patrick, and get on with your work. Patrick Bergin, you are the main good guy. It's your job in the film to kick Job's bottom for him. How does your character set about doing that?
Well, my character is probably the character who's responsible for inventing virtual reality, and he has his ideas stolen from him. The major corporation gets a hold of his patent.
Fucking hell, spit it out. I feel like he's having a micronap between every 3 words.
The character whose full intent is to take over the world for the corporation. I'm
so tired.
And my job, when I discover they're trying to do that.
The only member of the cast from the original film is Austin O'Brien, who reprises his role as pin-up kid Peter.
Extreme close-up.
Okay, right, I'm with Austin O'Brien. Probably, I would say, the junior hero of the film. Austin, tell us a bit about the character you play.
I play a character who's pretty much a homeless, bum, street tough type of kid. You know, he lives with a group of friends down in this Metro Rail car. And he's changed a lot from the original film.
Yes, everyone has changed hugely from the original film, presumably because they all had much better agents.
Okay, so this is the street. This is Los Angeles in the near future. Oh, there's a futuristic car. Get out of the way. We're going to be killed.
Lawnmower Man 2 is an absolutely wonderful piece of hot crap in a cup that I love to watch. And now I'll be able to look at it and go, Dominic Diamond stood on that street at some point. And I'll probably smile. Or not. I think I'll probably just forget. That's that episode done anyway. What time is it? Is it home time yet? 2 more episodes? Right, fair enough. Episode 17. Come on, we can do this. It's the penultimate. They're bound to have a good game lined up. And it is...
Dark Stalkers.
Alright, now we're talking.
Hey, Gil, what kind of music are you into?
Heavy metal.
Heavy metal. Let's talk about hair and heavy metal, because they're very hirsute fellows, all these guys. What's your favourite heavy metal hairstyle?
No hair.
No hair?
Yeah, that's the best.
Who's got no hair in heavy metal?
Scott Ian's from Anthrax.
Right. And you're into the no hair thing. You don't like all the ringlets and stuff like that. All right, that's fine. We're happy with that.
Let's get over to the news with a prehistoric Spotify.
First, news of a new system aiming to make record stores a thing of the past, the digital jukebox. Choose the single you want on your PC, and about 10 minutes later it'll come via the phone lines onto your hard drive, ready to be played as many times as you can bear. The system can store up to 400,000 songs, and it's hoped that it'll cost as little as 40 pence a single, and with unsigned band tracks available free. Whether you'll be able to get Take That or Oasis this way depends on whether record companies concerned think the profit margins are big enough. Don't hold your breath.
I want to provide material for the kids.
Uh-oh.
That's going to bring them closer to Christ.
Double uh-oh.
There's so much out there that's negative and destructive.
Indeed. The latest craze over in the States for those people tired of antisocial games is for more religious adventures, exemplified by titles like this one. Or Defender of the Faith, in which you play the youthful King David and have to prove your mettle by, amongst other things, slaying Goliath. And, of course, if religious games are big in the States, it won't be long before they'll be over here too.
Okay, well, admittedly, they all look sick as fuck. Back me up, Jesus. I'm religious and shit now.
And for the first time, those that like it can buy a CD-ROM about its making. For 30 quid, you can wander around computer-generated versions of the set, find out how the special effects were made, and even decide which questions to put to stars like Kurt Russell, such as, Kurt, why the cack hair?
I'm more excited about this missionary knocking 7 shades of shit out of a robot, gotta be honest. Time to watch Dave Perry get bullied.
Right, what's the time? Oh, it's Hanky's on the head time. It means it's Dave Perry. Dave, where does the bandana sleep at night?
The bandana sleeps just beside my bed. It's got its own little closet room. It's got television in there. I look after it. I look after my bandanas.
Okay, and special moves, Dave, once more, please.
Well, John Tolbane is a wolf, and Gil will be playing as him. He has a fireball move. He also has a howling at the moon wolf move, which acts like a dragon punch as he leaps upwards. And then Bishamu is a samurai, and he tends to use his sword. He can throw that.
Okay, we can see Gil is playing John Tolbane, who's the wolf on the left, and Steve is Bishamu, who's the samurai guy on the right. Energy bars is always at the top of the screen when they go red, you're completely dead. Pretty evenly matched so far, Dave.
It's pretty evenly matched so far, yes it is. The 2 energy bars that this game has, which are special, are at the bottom, the special bars. Now, the higher they are, the more powerful the moves that fighter can pull off. But at the moment, the energy bars are very low. John Tolbane.
Give us your opinion of the fight.
It's a good fight.
That's one heck of an opinion there, Gil, eh?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I even enjoyed watching Darkstalkers. I think life itself has been dragged out of me. So let's get some more misery on the go in the reviews section, starting with Road Rash 3.
And they've actually taken the sprites from the 3DO version and scaled them down to fit on the Mega Drive.
That's the most exciting thing in the world, Harold.
If you've already got a Road Rash game, don't bother buying this. The Road Rash 3 has got a split-screen 2-player mode. It's slightly faster and better looking than the preceding 2 games, but virtually the same game.
People who have motorbikes are sure to love this sort of game. Not fair, not nice, but pretty good fun nonetheless.
It's a bit weird how everyone liked Road Rash and then all just stopped playing it at once. 80%, goodbye Road Rash, time for Dark Forces.
I'm sure I'm not the only one whose pants have been pooed waiting for LucasArts' Star Wars shoot 'em up.
That's Rich, he called it a Doom clone a few episodes ago.
One of the first things I noticed about this game is just like the attention to detail. It is absolutely brilliant. However, there's no blood in it, there's no chainsaws, you know, I mean, what can I say? Doom rules.
The graphics are actually better than Doom. It's a little faster and a little smoother. What this game adds to the Doom scenario, though, is strategy. Instead of just shooting everything, you actually have a mission to accomplish, which is to steal the plans for Spider-Man.
And they've actually taken the sprites from the 3DO version and scaled them down to fit on the Mega Drive.
I'm genuinely surprised they got this one right, although, is it really 7% better than Doom 2? Yes, it probably is. I don't know. Regardless, there'll be someone in the comments who has made one of these games their entire personality, so I'm sure I'll have mortally offended someone. Good. Moving on, it's Uni Rally, 10 out of 10, 100% best game.
The simple objective is to reach the end of the course, and you have to beat the computer player or Spider-Man.
I found it quite simply one of the best two-player games I've found in ages. It's totally addictive. They've actually taken the sprites from the 3DO version and scaled them down to fit on the Mega Drive.
You're just trying to race each other to the end, and you know, you might just get pipped to the post, and it's really annoying, especially when, you know, someone who you know you can beat just pips you with like a little extra move. It's pretty annoying, but great fun.
Yes, yes! I take back all the bad words I've said about any of the reviewers. They finally got it right with the most important game. Banger! Up on the internet, you can download a demo of one of the many, many golf games. Have fun with that. And tonight's Celebrity Challenge is Kid Clown in Crazy Chase. So who the hell are they going to have playing this one?
Natalie Imbruglia!
Of course! Of course it fucking is.
Natalie, I want to talk about the pressures of being a sex symbol.
Oh gosh, I don't think of myself as a sex symbol.
No, I was talking about me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Joining Natalie tonight and fulfilling the fantasy of many young boys at his age, please welcome Scott Bradley. Scott, why are you blushing?
Well, you know.
Listen, Scott, I know you're from Milton Keynes, aren't you, Scott?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it's not quite Milton Keynes. It's more near Newport Pagnell, a little village called Stoke-on-Ton.
Right. Does that make a difference?
No.
This kid is great, or he may also have just gotten into dumb stash. Either way, I like him. Screw you, Natalie Imbruglia. We're on Team Scott Bradley.
First in the queue to join me tonight was Steve Merritt, surprisingly enough, from Mean Machines. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Tom.
Steve, which one of the neighbours' girlies do you fancy the most?
Well, Paul Robinson's always been my hero, so like him, I'm going to have the twins.
Twins, hopefully they'll get time off from the shampoo commercials.
Yeah, they say got clean hair.
I think the problem with Steve is that it's fairly clear he's either pre-prepped his answers or someone else has written the lines for him, and he delivers them in a fashion that would make a mannequin blush.
Go Scott Bradley! Go Scott Bradley! You're in it to win it by any means. You're from Newport Pagnell, not Milton Keynes. So go Scott Bradley! Go, go, go! You were doing okay, but now you're doing shite. Maybe stop being so shy on the game. Scott Bradley, go, go, go! Oh, Scott Bradley, yeah!
Stop the game. Scott Bradley finishes on 8 coins. Please make way for Natalie.
Well, here's hoping Natalie doesn't learn anything from Steve.
I'm sorry to say this, Natalie, but we don't want you to win tonight. We hope that you fail spectacularly, even though Scott Bradley was shy. It may seem harsh, it may seem rude, that we're all rooting for the other dude. You came all the way malls to play. But there's only one thing we have to say. Fuck off, Natalie. Fuck right off. Fuck right fucking off. Fuck right off.
Commiserations, Natalie. Scott, I'll start with you. Scott, was your heart beating a little faster towards the end there?
Well, yeah, I couldn't stay on that bridge, and, well, she was doing a bit good, so... Well.
I was going to say, you should have been looking at the screen then.
She should have won, because she was very good.
That's very giving of you, Scott. You're obviously after a snog or something, aren't you?
Well, of course.
Dom, stop facilitating this. He's 12.
The snog you can sort out in you in Scott's own time.
That's a crime.
But
people are discovering the fresh butter taste of. I can't believe it's not.
But Natalie, I have to tell you, Steve and I were very tired and emotional up there in the box towards the end. Every last drop of energy we had was focused on you. What went wrong?
I didn't do too badly. I think I made a few mistakes that couldn't be fixed, but I did okay, didn't I?
Now, going straight into the feature then, it's fucking Mortal fucking Kombat again. Fucking Nora.
As you know, I am officially the hardest presenter on Channel 4. This is why I've been invited out to Los Angeles onto the set of the hardest film of the year, Mortal Kombat, to have a little chat with the boys and girls who are making the film. New Line Cinema, makers of The Mask and Nightmare on Elm Street movies, have pulled out all the stops from Mortal Kombat, making it their highest budget venture to date. It tells the tale of three fighters who are led by Thunder God Raiden to the Outworld, where they must defend the Earth by winning the Mortal Kombat tournament. Our three heroes being Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and
Spider-Man.
Bridget, you play Sonya Blade in the movie. Tell me a little bit about what she gets up to in the film.
Well, Sonya is the character that is, she's a female.
Yep, good observation.
And she, you know, when they embark upon this adventure with characters Johnny and Lou, she's in the beginning, she's the unwilling outcast of the group until she kind of really begins to realize what's going on, because she has no idea what Mortal Kombat is.
I mean, it's in the name, right?
Are you quite tough in real life outside of the film?
It depends on if I like you or not.
Well, say Martina Navratilova. Could you take, like, Martina, do you think? Could you take her in a one-on-one situation?
She's really into this banter and definitely not confused.
Robin, you play Liu Kang, one of the good guys. Is it really, I mean, a lot of people say, you know, that obviously making films is very, very hard work, but then you got the people saying, no, it's not, it's easy, you just sit around and do a couple of minutes filming and that's it. Has it been hard?
It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
Especially doing martial arts movie. It is so physical, and people sometimes don't realize that you have to act and do all these fight sequences.
What the fuck did you think you were supposed to do? Just stop acting mid-kick?
What a ghastly thought. As well as good guys, of course, Mortal Kombat's got plenty of bad guys.
Shang Tsung.
A more complicated character is portrayed by Talisa Soto, who takes the role of the enigmatic mega bird Princess Katana.
You're finally learning, Liu Kang.
Katana.
Come with me. We must hurry.
However much I tried to talk about the film, it became patently obvious Talisa fancied me.
We'll have you cringing and crying in no time.
Talisa, you play Katana in the film. Who's like
Princess Katana.
Princess Katana, sorry, I stand corrected. Who's like 2,000 years old.
10,000 years old.
10,000 years old.
I corrected you twice.
But you look very young and fit, do you know what I mean? For like 10,000 years old.
It's that bloodline in Outworld.
Yeah, did you see she just winked at me, by the way? Talisa Soto actually winked at me. So what are you doing after this then, Talisa?
Well, there's nothing signed yet, but a couple things in the burner.
We'll I meant after this tonight.
After tonight?
I'm in town.
Oh yeah?
Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah?
We could do something if you wanted, yeah? Yeah, would you be up for that?
Sure. One of those days that is not, you know, those crack of dawn calls.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
As smooth as a dog's dangling bollocks, and that's as much vomit as I can hold back for one episode, so we might as well move on to the final episode 18, and wait, stop the train, hold your horses, bring your rollerblades to a halt. We are at a crossroads. This particular episode, the finale, is the Gore special. It's the only special GamesMaster ever did, I think, unless you count the live episodes as a special, which I find exceptionally difficult to swallow. The point is, there are actually two versions. There's this version that went out on broadcast television and didn't quite get as gory, bloody, or boobalicious as they would have perhaps liked, but there's also an extended cut. a VHS version, a version that I would much prefer to dig my teeth into and get stuck in. However, the extended version is over 40 minutes long, and this video is already around the sweet spot I like to keep it to, so while I would love to be done with GamesMaster Series 4, we're not quite yet there, but we'll come back to it. So, Series 4 then, as a whole, is it the best series? Well, not for my money. It's certainly not the worst. I don't even need to mention which one that is, but there's a real greasiness to this series that seems to have seeped into the plaster that they stuck over Dexter Fletcher's face. If Series 1 was 13 years old and Series 2 was 15 years old, then Series 4 feels like the 19-year-old who still hangs around with Series 1 and 2, even though he should really find some friends his own age. The tongue-in-cheek has been replaced by shoo-in cunt, and the irreverent chit-chat with the guests has been replaced with, well, this.
Bag of crisps.
This is a matter of opinion, of course. Series 1 and Series 2 had their rough edges, but the overall vibe just pulled together in a way that made watching feel like you were part of something together. Series 4 feels like you're watching someone kick a goose in the kidney while all its mates stand round and laugh. However, for the purposes of being fair, let's call it a soft reboot. Dom has changed, the set has changed, the audience has changed, the 90s have changed, and gaming is currently changing alongside all of it. Will Series 5 polish the diamond? Who cares? We've got the Gore special next. Calm your tits.
Sweet, oh, my sweet.